Hey folks, are you ready for some more Valhalla? I know I am. And indeed, I actually had another episode recorded. You may be wondering, why is this fella still tied up? Why are these people still in cages? Well, that's a good question. And the answer is, similar to what has happened before on my channel, my microphone decided that my computer decided to default my microphone back to a non-existent one. Also, that's a very nice wolf rug. And so I had to redo the entire introductory section up until killing this fella all over again, because what I was left with was one episode of no voiceover. Which I'm sure is good for some people, but I don't appreciate the muffled audio of this game anyway. So, what we're going to do now is, because I was rushing through it, I turn the difficulties down. They're going straight back up. Is that everything? Yes. We're going to apply it. Oh no, we can't do it until we've saved people. So we're going to save the people. We're going to equip our armour. And then we're going to progress with what we were doing last time. But this time, folks, we will probably have to adjust what I was intending to do.
You can fight.
Because,
well,
it's getting late and I'm a bit pushed for time tonight. So I think we might focus on the story. We might go out of here and, hey, what do you think's through that door? If you're thinking a fight, you'd be right. So we're going to equip our armour now, folks. I made sure I went back to all the locations we've already looted. And I did a little bit of hunting here and there, but I don't think I have enough to upgrade anything. No, I don't. I didn't do as much hunting as last time. So we're going in at a little bit more of a disadvantage this time. I'm hoping I can change the difficulty setting now, because if not, it may have to be after this upcoming fight. No, I can't, apparently. Okay, well, as I say, there's a fight through here. We're going to go over here and try and reset the difficulty. We're going to run away from this fight like a good Italian. And we're going to see if we can reset it now. If we can't, this will be the one and only fight we will go through on the easiest setting. No, we can't change it right now. So, we are going to go through this fight on easy in that case. Oh dear, they've all followed me as well. Well, that's good, because we are currently on easy. So it's going to be very embarrassing if I now die. But, please believe me when I say I did this on the hardest setting. Is it Draugr or whatever it is? Previously, and simply because of this issue with my mic, I can't show it now. Okay, can we change the difficulty now, I wonder? This is going to be a pain if not. No. So, I think we've probably got to wait until this quest's over. Unless I can go over here, maybe. I am going to do my best to reset it before we go any further, folks, because I don't really like playing this game on an easy setting. I don't like playing any game on an easy setting, but will it let me change it now? Yes, it will, so we can reload to the last checkpoint. So, last time we played this, folks, has it reset? Sorry for all this menu hopping, folks. I didn't realise it wasn't going to let me swap it immediately, and I wanted to make sure I showed, in all genuinity is the word, that we are indeed playing it on the hardest setting. Also, here's all those folks we murdered a moment ago. We'll forget that we did it on easy. And we're not going to be looting everything immediately this time. Also, you can light your arrows on fire, which is good fun. I believe you could do that in Odyssey as well. But so, I will show in a moment what we did last time. It feels like we're doing more damage than we should be. it does feel like it hasn't reset the difficulty, folks. So we're going to load the previous autosave. This episode is a little bit of a disaster, but the recording of the last one made it this way. I assure you the previous recording was far better. So I think we'll just proceed with the story for this episode and then do the exploration stuff next time. Okay, has it done what I wanted it to do this time? It has. Okay.
Best not to draw attention here.
That's more like it. As you can see, we're hardly doing any damage now, folks. Which is how it should be on this setting. Okay, let's proceed. So, at the moment we're after our longship, which is docked down at the bottom. And as you can see, we also don't do one-hit kills with the bow and arrow on this difficulty setting like we were doing before. I'll illustrate briefly on the map what I did in the previous recording. I went to this island here, and I went here. As you can see, there is a quest marked on this island. A mystery, it's called here, but it is a quest. I'll spoil that for you now. We can't go any further up here because we don't have the power level for it, really. And then I came to the end of the quest, which is here, and remarked on there's a fair few villages around here that we're going to explore over the next few episodes. So, now we've got that out of the way, let's go and get the boat, go down to the end of the quest, and see how much time we've got left, really. I was surprised in the initial recording of this episode, shall we call it the test recording, how easy this difficulty is by comparison with its equivalent in Odyssey. I think it was called Nightmare in Odyssey, where it was exceptionally difficult. Also, we hit our own fellow there, but I don't think he noticed, so we'll not tell him. You're about to die, fella. Oh, one other thing that happened was we leveled up in the previous one, which I'll be able to show you again properly. So there are benefits to redoing this in that I now know a little better what I need to be doing. Although I have done this section in my earlier aborted playthrough of the game, like before I was doing it for YouTube. So yeah, nothing at this point is new to me, and it is all just very basic tutorial stuff. We get some upgrade materials there. We spent a lot of time searching for those last time, but we're going to save them now for the axe. I think we need quite a bit more iron for that. Also, these guys want some, so we'll oblige them. Oh, not nice. At least it's not Horizon Zero Dawn, where if you get hit by a single arrow, you're dead. Pretty much on that hardest setting. God almighty, though. They are ruthless. I'll say outright though, we realistically only have the scope to get hit twice in this game, on this setting. 2 hits and we're dead, I believe is the way it works. Always go for those orange bars on the enemy's body, that's their critical hit point, and as you can see, it's absolutely fucking brutal, and well worth doing as well. These guys aren't very tanky, so you can take them out in a few melee hits. I'm curious to see what some of the tougher enemies in this game are like, actually, because in Odyssey you had everything from like soldier type enemies to fucking Medusa, Cerberus and all mythological stuff. So it'd be cool to see if they paired that back and not in this one. I missed you there, prick. You're gonna die. Oh my god. I do like that healing pouch. It's very reminiscent of Horizon Zero Dawn. Okay. This is a little bit messier than when I recorded it before, but I am just trying to move through it at a little quicker pace for the simple fact, as I said, it is getting a bit late. I do want to get this finished, try and get it rendering. I could have left it till tomorrow, but I don't know, I've got the itch to play this game. There's something about cleaving skulls as a Viking that's really enjoyable.
Jack, Greggy, grab your oars. The whale road leads us home.
Is there anything to take in here? Doesn't look like it. That music's pretty cool, by the way. So this is our longship. We are in command of it. You can open your sail. You can also ask your crew to sing you a Viking song, but for some reason it doesn't work at this part of the game. We're going to sail down here towards the quest location.
Rather silent, Eivor. Anything to say for the mess you led us to?
We suffered no losses in this fight, and the men who humiliated us are dead. What is there to say?
Oh, something like, I was stupid, selfish, reckless, blind, bone-headed, and I
You will
smelled
never
blood
ever
and
hear a
shit.
woman say
I
that
like my
ever,
version
Doug.
better.
So, I was curious whether this game has quite as much of the seafaring as Odyssey did,
Gnawing at any piece of open land like dogs were.
because it was a bit excessive in that game, even for the scope of the game, which was all of Greece. We're going to raid this island. I didn't do this in the previous one, but it's on the way to the quest, so I'm going to do it this run. Basically, you can raid like encampments and towns. It's just like the power struggle type battles in Odyssey, but they feel a little bit more like they have a point to them, because at the end of the day we are Vikings in this game. I do need some arrows from somewhere. I love that heavier shield smasher type, but we're taking some damage now, which I don't like. So I need to find some cloud brews to heal up, because one shot and we're dead at the moment. Maybe try picking off the archers first. Yep, as I said, one shot and you're dead at that point. I hope it starts me at the edge of the raid again. Could really be doing with some arrows. I am going to be going quite archery heavy, given that it's this sort of difficulty. I feel like stealth archer is the way to go, but you don't get like your assassination abilities until a little bit later. I've never reached the point you get it at, but I really apologise if some of the commentary is a bit hurried today, folks. As I say, again, it is getting a bit late. I am getting a bit tired, but I really, really, really am enjoying this game. I don't know why, it's starting to make an impression. Oh, so yes, obsidian, this stuff, you smash, and you can get resources such as iron, which we use for upgrading our equipment. I'm really hoping we've got enough to upgrade the axe now, and we have. We're going to upgrade Varen's axe, gives it some more damage, some more stun capabilities. Might help a little bit in this fight. And we're going to rush this guy. I do not die. I want to try and get a parry off on this guy. But he's thrown his shield away, so let's go for the old club to come round the head instead. I do apologise as well for like the mouse clicking in the background. My setup at the minute is my mic is on the side next to my keyboard. so I can just speak into it. If there's a way of fixing it, I might, but at the moment I don't feel the need to. Here's the treasure chest we're after. Gives us a new axe, I believe that's a double-handed axe. Bone biter. But yeah, this brings me a chance to explain. So, each area of the game has 3 different just punch your head off, fool. They've all got bows in this fucking game. I love that finisher, just smash the shield through the head. Fucking another archer. I'll deal with him. Where are my crew as well? They're supposed to be helping me raid this place. Fucking idiots. The combat in this game can get to be a little bit methodical sometimes. Especially on the higher difficulties, there is a massive focus on dodging out the way of stuff. It's quite visceral as well, in that you're very up close and personal with the enemies in it. You don't really get much time to stop and wait. God, this game, the scenery in it is just utterly stunning. Hello, cunt. Easy kill. I was going to say, I better get my fucking arrows back for that. Ah yes, as I hoped. I will probably be spending a fair bit of these early episodes just looking for more iron ore and various things like that. I feel all the upgrades that are possible are going to be quite necessary early on. Just because this feels like the sort of difficulty where you need every advantage you can get, really. I mean, you saw earlier how easily it is to get just spanked out by like 2 hits. Kjotve, Harold's ships come and go and give us no trouble, just as she said. Raven ships are few and show no great strength. The land is ours to take. Lovely. What a cunt. Now, I have done this raid before. I thought there was a way of setting this on fire. I might be wrong though. To be honest, it might have just been that I shot like a burning arrow at it or something. Let's try that now. Well, that were a bit of shit. Yeah, I think that was what I did. I just shot a burning arrow at it or something. Either way, we got the treasure from this island. We can progress with the story now. That gave us a little side purpose to what would otherwise have been a very short episode. And as I've said previously, this is probably going to be a 100% playthrough, or pretty close to one, so we will be doing most things like this, if not all. Now I know there's another synchronisation point up there. I am considering running to grab it now, before we go in. No, we'll leave that for later, because there's a village there, which I will warn you in advance is very, very CPU intensive. So if I'm going like frame drops there, there's not a lot I can do about it. I'm running a i7 7700K, which is a very good quad-core processor, but this game is really, really demanding on your CPU.
I could warm my balls on it.
Would you not prefer a pair of sealskin breeches?
Just take care, Eivor. Such hatred can make you careless. What he did to your father, he did to all of us. You are not in this fight alone.
One for all and all for one, or wherever it is. The wave effects on this are really impressive, I think. Odyssey did that really, really well as well. But just everything about this game. Oh, and one thing I did notice as well, after criticising Odyssey, or not criticising it, but mentioning rock textures in Odyssey look a little bit blurred further out. I was looking at a couple of photos the other day that showed like just general scenery, and yeah, Odyssey actually gets like rock textures really, really well at a far distance to mid distance. I take back everything I said about it. So we are going to be exploring literally this entire map to try and find things to do. These next 2 or 3 episodes could be very, very long-winded, with probably not a lot of pure story to it. But I hope I can at least make it semi-entertaining.
If there's a skull who dares sing that verse, it'll be his last song.
I really quite like Eivor as a character, I have to say. Oh, we've got this cinematic focus camera. I don't like it when games do this, really. But in a game this beautiful, I guess it's acceptable. So again, this being a settlement, it is quite CPU heavy. I do expect some frame drops here, but nothing too... it feels a little bit rougher, it doesn't feel terrible though. And I'm sure when it's all loaded in and stuff, it'll be a little bit easier on it. Yeah, it's running fine. The odd drop here and there. So we've just got a level up, we're going to use it. It's very similar to Final Fantasy X's sphere grid system in that you just go where you want with your stop points in this. There's an ability over here I want immediately, which gives you more arrows back from looting archers, and then because we're going bow heavy, we're getting range damage. So let's talk to this lady here and find out what's happening next in the story.
We thought we had lost you, Eivor. For good this time.
A warm welcome as always, Ranvi.
You look like reddened shit. What happened?
Nothing to crow about, except to say the men who delayed us are dead. And how are you?
Well enough. Though I have spent many tiresome days calming the rages of our king. He is not happy with you.
I expected as much. And what of Sigurd? Has he returned from his raids?
My husband should be home today. The last we heard, he was approaching Stavanger.
Good to hear. We have need of his courage.
Sigurd will not save you from his father's wrath, Eivor. You should know that by now.
Did your raid not go as planned?
They rarely go as planned. But we killed many of Kjotve's warriors. And there was this. My father's axe among the dead.
Ah. After so many years. You should take it to Gunnar. He will give it back its edge.
A good idea. After I see our king.
That I do not advise. Not yet. He is meeting with a messenger from the north.
I can wait.
Lots of countries have a north. Character
Cloud
models
hangs
in this
over
are
you.
amazing.
Is something wrong?
Seeing my father's axe after 17 winters. It stirred something in me. A feeling I have not had since the day he was killed. Since the day I got this.
Memories of past agonies. Of sadness and pain.
I should speak with Volka. She could help me make sense of my feelings.
Take
So,
your time
a
getting
counsellor,
settled.
basically.
I will see you at the Longhouse.
I think you have lost your edge, Eivor, just like that axe. Maybe Gunnar can help you with both.
I will let you know.
So, Ranvi wants us to go and see basically like a counsellor, and we also need to go and see Gunnar, who I'm assuming is like the blacksmith. And we just got another 2 skill points. This game's throwing them at me. I'll take that for the extra health. That could be a good one to go towards. Crouched and undetected. I don't really know what to go with, to be honest, folks. We are going to be going like stealth archers, so I think we'll go with that. So, as I said, oh, we've got multiple quests. What have we got? So we have Family Matters, which means we have to go and see Gunnar the Blacksmith, and we have to go and see a local seer for the council because of these visions we're having. What codex entries have we got? Ranvi. Ranvi's love for her husband Sigurd takes the same form as most in the Raven clan now, admiration from a distance. Given the number of times Sigurd has spent travelling during their arranged marriage, the two are still strangers in many ways, but Ranvi is, at her core, a pragmatic woman who knows from her people's harsh history that there are far worse fates than a utilitarian marriage. As the toughest and strongest of young Prince Sigurd's playmates, Dag was certain of his destiny. When the prince became king, he would be Sigurd's right hand. Then Eivor's village was raised and everything changed. When King Styrbjorn adopted Eivor, Dag knew things would never be the same with his oldest and bestest friend. But the fates can turn anyone's luck. Long is the list of warriors lost to the bloody clan wars that ravaged Reykjavik, but few will be remembered with the same fear and loathing as Kjotve the Cruel. Now I've got Marina and the Diamonds fear and loathing stuck in my head. Kjotve's rise to prominence from a relatively insignificant clan was fast and brutal. Some have said he was helped by secret distant allies, but those voices were quickly silenced. He privately wonders whether his son Gorm will prove too weak to take Reykjavik himself, and so is determined to beat the land into submission before his final day. So he's a bit of a cunt, in other words. The Hanged God, Shield Shaker, Greybeard and Wanderer are just a few of the many, many names of Odin, the All-Father. Having effectively created the 9 realms out of the carcass of a dead giant, Odin feels he should be exempt from any binding fate, particularly one that ends in the jaws of a monstrous wolf. His thirst for power through knowledge is unquenchable. He sacrificed an eye for insight and hung himself on the tree Yggdrasil in the father of all near-death experiences. When not acting in his role as chief among the Norse gods, he wanders the mortal realm, Midgard, often in the form of a bearded old man wearing a long cloak, wide hat and carrying a staff. Classic Odin. So I'll be keeping my eyes open for a bearded old man wearing a cloak, a hat and a staff. And then the militia fight dirty. They throw mud and dirt to blind opponents and hammer away with makeshift axes and makeshift clubs and crude sea axes. They gang up against their strongest opponent first and are perfectly happy to take cheap shots when their enemies are incapacitated. I am quickly going to click through all these just because I don't really want it saying that they're not red. So folks, that was the end of episode 2 of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. in this episode. Just for a quick recap, we regained our longship, we came back to
I
our
returned with a boat and a full crew.
camp
That
type
is
place,
worth more than silver.
and we're now going to go and see a blacksmith and a seer.
But
But next time, folks, we probably will not be doing that. We'll probably retread what I did in the previous recording of this episode, and explore some of these gorgeous mountainsides, and generally just interact with some of the villagers, maybe. But whatever we decide to do, folks, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you will stay with me for it. Until then, folks, until then.